Now, this is a chance that for us to go to the community and share some good news. So with that said, I have right here on my list, Hong Mei Lee from Mason, Ohio. Are you on?
Okay.
We'd love to hear your story. Hong Mei, are
Yeah.
you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So it's great to be here. Actually, because I'm a professor at Miami University, and I'm not personally involved in making the clothes masks, but all the community members actually made a lot of clothes masks and donated to nursing homes, schools, and also to hospitals. And so then and we also raise money to support the community and so on. So really, it's amazing to see people who can come together, who are who have different political views, start to stop arguing with each other and then start to be united. So I really feel that this is an amazing time for us to be together and then to share our love with the community and to try to do the best as we can and stay positive.
Thank you so much.
And I do want to say a little bit more. So I ask two questions. So I just wonder if there's any opportunity for Representative Grace Moon to answer these questions, because I'm really concerned. I saw Biden's recent ad that really mentioned like Chinese 13 times. And so obviously he did not really distinguish between Chinese and the Chinese government or the party. And I also see the attack from the Republican candidate. Of course, we all know that. So both parties are attacking the Chinese community. And so I just wonder how we can really avoid the collateral damage and what are the strategies that we should take to force them to be more sensitive.
Yes, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna save these questions and we're gonna make sure that these questions get to Congresswoman Grace Meng. And part is because we wanna make sure we respect the time boundary, but two, some of these things are happening right now. And my belief also is that in good leadership, we also need some time to process too. And we're also give ourselves a time, us as a whole in this webinar, the time to process as well. So thank you so much. I want to go ahead and move over to one more person. Can we have Lily Chen? I would love to hear more about the PPE donations, and then we're going to move over to something even more deeper for us, our community to think about. Lily, are you on?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Anthony, for inviting me to speak, even though I didn't plan to do that. And we have collected close to 200 very organic and very spontaneous acts of kindness to help the community to fight this pandemic. It ranges from spontaneous fundraising from local organizations within the UC family and other organizations, $100,000 within several days, to donating tens of thousands of masks and PPEs to local hospitals, as well as providing free meals. For example, the National Chinese Restaurant Association provided free meals for entire 3 weeks to the first responders in Chicago area. Or like in North Carolina, CAFA, the organization has organized multiple donation drives under the great leadership and participation also with our City Councilwoman, Ya Liu, as well as Jianping Yang. And there's too many to mention. I do want you to be aware of one thing that we're planning to do, building of this tremendous momentum, as well as this generosity from our community, is that May 9th, UCA is going to organize a Food of Love during that day, doing that throughout the country. And because May 10th is the transcontinental railway completion, 151st anniversary. So we wanted to use this rich history about connection, 151st first years of 151 years of connecting the United States to right now using the acts of kindness to connect the broken world, and especially during these pandemics. I guess that's what I would like to share. I'm not sure, Haipei, are you there? Or this is the vision and also the master plans by our UCA president, Haipei, and many volunteers. And one other thing I would like to mention is by one of our board member, Jin Chang, who has developed a Tracy Sky. There's close to 30 pieces published already, is the guy with a very vivid pictures and based on the best practice from both China and US, and reviewed by a panel, a great panel of experts for families and also our communities to fight for the pandemic, from very simple techniques, from like how to wash your hands, what do you do when you receive a grocery, to social distancing. So it's a great tool for the family to use. And I just share both websites on the chat. And I hope that we can benefit not only our own community, more importantly, is other communities, English-speaking communities, underserved communities. We're trying to reach out to local Hispanic communities, as well as African-American communities. But this is an educational front that UCA is doing. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much for listening.
Thank you, Lily. And then you heard Lily, she dropped the Haipei's name. So this is what I'm gonna offer you all. Lily, if you can send that link to Civic Leadership USA, we'll find ways to get it out there. And then if y'all have access to the chat, to Lily, to Haipei, message them and let them know. Now, I want to make sure that we are short on time. There's so much we got to go through. And this is actually pretty important. Everything that's in the group chat right now, we are logging. We're making sure we keep track of that. So no response, no comment is going unnoticed. And this is our work and our hope that we can provide for you all. Now, the reason why we start with some good news is because we always can't forget that we always have the power to see good in what everything that might look bad. Is that Lenny right there?
Hello?
Hi, Lenny?
Yeah.
Lenny, my team told me that you have a story. Can you tell us what's been going on your part of the world?
Just was in the local news broadcast a couple weeks ago. They found all kinds of white supremacy flyers posted in the Chinatown in Seattle overnight. Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah, and history tells me.
It's not Chinatown. It's really called international district with the Japanese immigrants, Vietnamese, Korean, and Chinese. It just popped up overnight, one day.
Just overnight. You're telling me it just happened overnight.
Yeah, somebody just went there and posted all the flyers.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I feel the same way overnight. I imagine you feel scared, but also frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the more troubling is, was on the news, right? But I didn't see any statement from the government, whether state or local government. That's even more scary.
Yeah. So Lenny, thank you so much for that one. And then I'm going to Lenny. One of the slides I had was that the 7 businesses that were owned by Asian owners that happened in San Jose, these were go-to spaces, boba places where younger folks go to commune with each other and have community. So if places like that, the International District, boba places are not safe, what now? What do we do? I want to make sure we have time. I'm gonna go to one last person. Let's do Portia Silverberg. Portia.
Anthony.
Hi, Portia. Long time no
Hi,
see.
Anthony. I know. Great to see you. Thank you for doing this. Amazing conversations. This is so important that we talk about it. And what would you like me to share?
So what are the incidents you've seen that's happening in your part of the world?
So I think that's one of the myths that needs to be debunked to the entire community outside of the AAPI community, is that even though in areas like California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, there is a lot of assumption that we don't have any discrimination or racial attacks, or this is not, COVID-19 is not impacting us. That's actually not true. So I've heard of examples of something happened, an Asian woman in a Hispanic grocery store or one of those marketplaces just a few days ago in Cupertino, which is of course where Apple's main headquarters is located. It's about as diverse as it can be. And she was told by the cashier that when she was separating groceries from the person behind her, and she said, you know, hey, I just want to respect the social distancing. And the shopper was fine. He's like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right, no problem. But the cashier at the market said, oh yeah, so you bring the disease, now you want social distancing? And another cashier chimed in and said, oh yeah, you want social distancing? So when she reported it, supposedly the store had fired those two cashiers. So what's alarming about that is people of color in particular really need to come together in solidarity. And these two cashiers, of course, did the absolute wrong thing. But the second alarming thing is other shoppers at the store did not speak up. So I think that's what we really need to focus on, in addition to everything else you've mentioned, is that we have an opportunity to reach out to people who are not Asians, who may be maybe somewhat ignorant of what's happening, and to really help them understand, because we all have friends and allies who are white or other colors, and they want to know what's happening. They want to know how they can help. So I think in our mobilization, it's really important to create opportunities to help people become upstanders instead of being just bystanders.
Portia, thank you so much. That is the perfect segue to our next part. That wasn't planned, everyone, just letting you know. So the question now is, what now?